If you've ever checked your bank account on the last day of the month and wondered if your money was secretly moonlighting as a magician vanishing right before your eyes, you might be a freelancer. There's a special thrill and a pinch of panic in this line of work. One week you're flush with cash, living large on fancy coffee and ride shares. The next you're counting coins and wondering if ramen noodles can be a balanced diet. For many, freelancing is sold as a ticket to freedom, flexibility, and maybe a little glamour. But beneath the Instagram posts of laptops by the beach and midday naps lies a gritty, untold story. The real hacks for financial survival that nobody warns you about. Let's start with the freelancer's greatest frenemy cash flow. There's nothing like the adrenaline rush of waiting for a client to pay, refreshing your banking app every 5 minutes like you're trying to win a radio contest. Projects rarely pay on time. Sometimes money drifts in weeks after you've forgotten what the job even was. Meanwhile, bills and subscriptions keep arriving right on schedule. This unpredictable rhythm messes with your mind. You get paid for a big job and instantly feel rich, splurging on dinners out or a well-deserved gadget, only to realize 3 small invoices are still stuck in digital purgatory. It's the freelancer version of having eyes bigger than your wallet, except your wallet's full of promises, not cash. But that's not the whole story. There's the mental accounting trap. Freelancers often count income before it actually arrives. The psychology of expected money is a sneaky beast. Your brain treats unpaid invoices like real wealth, which leads to overspending and false confidence. The hard reality hits when you check your account and realize that imaginary money doesn't pay for electricity. Seasoned freelancers learn, after a few shocks, to only budget what's actually in the bank, not what's on the way. It's not pessimism, it's survival. And then there's the sneaky trap of tiny expenses. You know the ones: just a quick coffee on the way to a meeting, a $2 app upgrade, a snack from the convenience store because you earned it, or a little online shopping while waiting for feedback from a client. Each one feels harmless, but they pile up faster than emails after a long weekend. By the end of the month, the sum total of these small treats could have paid your internet bill or at least upgraded you from instant noodles to actual vegetables. It's classic death by 1,000 cuts, and freelancers are especially vulnerable. When every project is a little win, there's a temptation to celebrate each one with a small reward. But if your celebration budget is bigger than your savings, you might be one client delay away from a crash diet you didn't choose. There's also the freelancing time warp. I have so much time quickly becomes, where did all my money go? The illusion of flexibility leads to random coffee dates, errands at odd hours, or working from cafes, just for inspiration. Yet, each trip out quietly chips away at your earnings: coffees, co-working passes, spontaneous lunches, ride shares. In theory, you're your own boss. In practice, you sometimes feel like you're just working to pay for your next cappuccino. Pro tip: track every outside expense for a month. The total might surprise you, and not in a good way. The roller coaster of income is the true test. Some months you're flush and you can finally buy the nice toilet paper. Other months, you're living in survival mode, second-guessing every purchase and mentally calculating the price of toilet paper by the square. This feast or famine cycle messes with your brain. The urge to splurge when the money rolls in battles with the panic that strikes when it doesn't. Suddenly, every purchase feels like a risk and every gig like a lifeline. Saving money becomes both an art and a weird game. You invent envelope systems, squirrel away emergency cash in random kitchen jars, or download half a dozen budget tracking apps, each one promising to rescue your financial future, none able to save you from that one late-night Shopee haul. And then the unpredictable dry season. There are months when work slows to a trickle for no clear reason. Maybe it's a holiday slump, a client vanishes, or the market shifts. The secret weapon? Build a real rainy day fund, even if it starts as just a handful of bills tucked away. Many experienced freelancers swear by the 3-month rule: always have enough cash to cover expenses for at least 3 months. It's a psychological cushion that turns panic into patience and lets you say no to bad clients with confidence. Freelancers get creative with savings because we have to. Some keep money in separate bank accounts labeled "Do Not Touch." Others hide cash in books, purses, or even the freezer. A few resort to quirky personal rules like only spending bills with certain serial numbers or not using coins at all unless a true emergency strikes. Read an irresistible snack at the checkout line. Some even pay themselves a fixed salary every month, transferring the rest to a "do not disturb" savings account to smooth out the roller coaster. And when things get really tight, you realize you've actually forgotten about one of your secret stashes, and suddenly, payday feels like finding buried treasure in your own closet. No freelancer can survive long without learning the art of saying no to clients who don't pay deposits, to vague opportunities that promise future work instead of cash, to projects that sound fun but scream scope creep. It's about boundaries. Too many freelancers learn the hard way that exposure doesn't pay the rent and that promises of future work are often just promises. Setting your rates isn't just about numbers, it's about self-respect. Lowballing yourself might win you more gigs, but it also attracts clients who treat you like an all-you-can-eat buffet, endless demands, delayed payments, and moving goalposts. The true freelancer survival hack? Say no to vague agreements, insist on clear contracts, and never ever start work without a deposit. There's a quiet power in walking away from projects that drain your energy or require you to chase down every penny like you're playing an endless game of hide and seek. Sometimes, the smartest move is to fire a client who's more trouble than they're worth. Respect yourself, your time, and your talent. Remember that every hour spent chasing payments or fixing someone else's chaos is time you could be investing in better clients, new skills, or dare we say a real day off. The freelancer's wallet might not always be full, but your boundaries should be airtight. Finally, let's talk about emotional survival. Money stress is real, and it's rarely discussed. The uncertainty of freelancing can eat at your confidence and even affect your mental health. Find your support system, other freelancers, online groups, or even a good accountant, and share your stories. Swap tips, celebrate small wins, and vent about the client who still hasn't paid for that project from 6 months ago. Remember, laughter and solidarity is the best antidote to freelance stress. At the end of the day, freelancing is a wild ride full of hard lessons and weird victories. The financial hacks nobody tells you about aren't flashy, they're practical, sometimes scrappy, and always hard-won. It's about learning to spot the difference between a good month and a lucky one, to separate real income from IOUs, and to celebrate your wins without spending them all at once. True financial survival as a freelancer means accepting the chaos, embracing creativity, and occasionally laughing at the absurdity of chasing an invoice with the same determination you'd use to chase a runaway chicken. Maybe the most important secret is that financial control isn't about being perfect, it's about being conscious. Notice where your money goes, forgive yourself for the occasional splurge, and don't be afraid to say no when a project feels off. Use your own weird savings tricks, keep a sense of humor, and remember, the only real freelance fail is pretending you have it all figured out. So take pride in your makeshift spreadsheets and emergency ramen fund. If you have any secret hacks or survival stories of your own, now's the time to share because out here in the gig economy, the best kept secrets are often the ones we laugh about together.